If your caregivers stop sending money to you from the diaspora in Nigeria or in Africa, would you be would you still love them, or you would think they have deferred the African traditional social security system that says that we support each other in terms of need? That's the first topic I want to take on. I want you to be brutally honest with me. And for you to be brutally honest with me, I want you to go to the comment section and ask me to, so that you and I can have a discussion. That's the first point I'm going to take on. I'm also going to take on the God when versus God I beg. I want to repeat that. God when versus God I beg. God when is when you are in the church and you are praying. For when is he going to deliver to you? And I beg, God I beg means I beg you, God, make you give me this, make you give me that. Both of them is what we are currently, the economy that we're currently having in Nigeria, where people spend more time in church than they will spend in production. Same thing with the mosque. They don't spend enough time in the doing Oromila, Ifa, and stuff like that. In the God when versus God I beg, I'm going to take the issue of the crawling, Grueling, of the cost of living crisis, driven by relentless food inflation and volatile fuel price, also has transformed upward mobility into a structure of breaking down. What I mean by that is that Asiwaju went in and took away the fuel subsidy, and even when, as a producing nation of oil, there was America invading Iran and the oil price was going up and down, up and down. Other countries had a way of advancing the situation, but Nigeria didn't have no way of advancing the situation. Let me, I've already given you the first subsidy, what it means. Then the other thing I want to take up is the debt of 9 to 5. The debt of 9 to 5 is the same category with go to school. When you come out of school, go and get you a good job. So we're coming to find out now that, first of all, there is no job. And even when you get a job, which you go from 9 to 5, the money is not enough to support the family. No, the people abroad who are paying the black tax don't have it, are suffering over there, and I'm having trouble supporting the extended family in Africa, in Nigeria in particular. I'm a beneficiary of that system. But since I've been back to Nigeria, which is a year plus now, going to almost 2 years, I have worked 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to try to get myself off that money that they have been spending on me. But Nigerian economy or Nigeria Nigeria to you, according to what my friend said, this is Nigeria to you, is very, very dense. And I am now forced to be giving advice to people on how they are going to have to change this hustling of freelancing that they are doing abroad, which is now, and the what do you call them, the content provider that they are now doing in a mass that I'm part of, which I think is the right place to be. There's what you call hyperventilation, vigilance epidemic, where the police, the army are not talking to each other. That's the reason why we're having this security pandemic in Nigeria. That is leading to self-erosion, where people are suffering, the blood pressure is up, and they have what you call a mental gibocrates or mental innuendo or a mental breakdown that is leading from usually being alone and leading into depression. I've already mentioned the death of good citizenship, which is a child is supposed to support their parents when their parents got older. And I've also talked about the lacks, the attacks. What I do like to keep you posted, you guys may not know I know this, is what you call the illusion of the cruise control that we find ourselves, which means we are suffering and smiling based on the weaponization of poverty. When the price of, when we hear dollar has changed hands, we go to YouTube, we go to TikTok, we go to WhatsApp and start dancing. I think that is misplaced opportunity. So, having covered what I've just told you now, I want to let you know that my reason, my submission for today has one thing that's going for it. One, I want to thank y'all for your for subscribing to this channel. I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart, and I want to also let you know that I post a lot of videos on Shorts on YouTube, and if you I'm the same person in terms of what I'm posting, and I'm more happier now that I'm able to hit that short on the very 15 seconds, 20 seconds that I'm putting out there. You don't have to do it too much of a lot. Just click it and try and subscribe when you click it and you go to the reel. Again, I am not going to keep you guys here for too long because I have covered the full subsidy. And in the full subsidy, what I'm talking about here is I am the strong advocate that the fuel subsidy should not have been removed. No, I don't think it should be removed because in a producing nation like Nigeria, oil should have oil being distributed evenly to, because Just like you buy oil and gas in the petrol for rich man, it doesn't change for the poor man. We buy the same price. But what does change is when the subsidy is removed and the money that they said is going to be removed is now being distributed by the politicians. They just they just put the money in their pocket, and that called me to one important area that you may not have suspected me to talk about, and it's called we are doing the wrong thing, but expecting the wrong right. We have a right answer, and we are doing the right thing, expecting the wrong answer. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result has been this long travel, this long journey we have been in Nigeria, doing the same thing over and over again, which when I was a toddler caught Joe Shagari as being the fact that he was corrupt, his regime was corrupt. And I want to take it back to when Ojukwu and Gowon had the accord that they should have allowed it to happen, but Gowon took the side of the Muslim side, and Ojukwu took the side of the Christian side. And in the long run, there were pay and roll in Nigeria that was taking the money of dead people and taking it to Benin and start building mansion. There is no record of a court order that said anybody was prosecuted for that. I happen to just have known that I was living in Olea, and when I go to Veseri or Ago, there was a house that was built by a pay and roll recorder. The same mansion. That's what Shemole, they said he has the same kind of big mansion like that. Apabio, they said he had the same kind of big mansion like that. What they call him, Wike, bought houses for his children abroad with his lawyer or the judge wife. And they said he had the same kind of big house. So that's the area that I don't believe fuel subsidy should have been removed. It should have been dropped more so that the common man will be able to get a common cause. Because if you increase the fuel subsidy and the food cost goes up because the transportation on the food from Benue to Lagos, the food price increase, let's just say that there's banditry going on around there too. I've not talked enough of the floating of the Nigerian currency, which I attributed to when we see the price, the floating of the naira, we start doing TikTok, dancing around, which is the cruise mentality that we're currently having that has been weaponized for poverty. We should be crying, but we are afraid to cry, but we are dancing and smiling. I'm going to kind of wrap this up, and I want to thank you guys for subscribing. And on the long run, you're not going to be disappointed when I get monetarized. And I took another route that even though I have not monetarized yet, I have started helping those of you who, for one reason or the other, have left and now thinking, what am I going to do next? What am I going to do next? I didn't have that kind of space in my life where I was in doubt on what I was going to do next. it just kind of, I was rolling with what you call the roadmap in front of me, and it has led me to be able to survive or cure my birth defect. And I am working now on a guy that I would say is having worldview of the same status of Trump, Obama, Tinubu, Atiku, Peter Obi, Aisha Yusufu, Kamala Harris. The name continues. Jay-Z. They are the one that brought those guys from Uganda to go and start dancing. Shakira. Those are all people who have a worldview and they have been able to deliver. I'm going to wrap it up by saying that I still need to have a lot of subscription. You don't have anything to lose than the fact that when my video comes out, it lands on your feed and you don't have to clip it or select you're online. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm online and a friend of mine just told me he's going to post a video about the farming. Like me and he was supposed to be, I was supposed to be going to Fuga. I didn't go there because I failed. And he's going to go to Israel to go and get a partner and stuff like that. When they sent it to me, I couldn't watch it. I sent him back that this is a nice post. So if you send me, and I'm going to wrap this up by saying, what am I asking for today? I'm asking you that if you are in the receiving end of people from the diaspora sending money to you as a caregiver in Nigeria, and they stop, what would you do? That's the point I'm making there. What would you do? And I'm expecting, let us debate that. Not only that, I wanted to exploit that word, God, when versus God, I beg. You're begging God, and God doesn't make money. You're begging. He doesn't make no money. You are confused because you see a lot of kids who are doing 419. They come to the church and start spraying money. You see a lot of people who have a business dated back to 50, 60 years ago, and they have what you call enough money to give every Sunday because that's what they can afford to be able to give away. They are not begging. They know the structure of the church. If they don't want to go to church, they don't go. You don't owe them anything. They know. But they need to belong into what you call a cadre of people. That's why they are there. So please, it's 234 7033627981 is my phone number. You send me a direct message. azimikoko.com is my landing page. azimikoko26@gmail.com is my email. My book, God to Goddess, is on Amazon. The other one is turning vision into reality. Is on Seller. God to Goddess is on Amazon. Both of them are on Seller. And when you go there, if you save, and I have one button there that says for $5, just post your pain point in there. I say, I want you to help me to write the book. I will deliver the book to you, but you are going to have to pay for my developmental editor because I personally am not I will do all the character arc, hook, first point, midpoint, climax, and I will be able to pull all those together. When I say put your pain point into that $5 thing, my two books are $5 each. You will be able to have one thing going for you. You will be able to have what you call a new workbook that I'm getting ready to post for small business owner. And if you are interested in starting a YouTube, or you are already in YouTube but you are struggling to have the enough number for viewership or enough subscriber, just like as I am doing, I already know I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna do it. Just like you can do it. Yes, we can. But at the same time too, if we work together, we bring our head together, we're not gonna fail. And that's what we're not doing enough of. So thank you all for coming in. Bye bye.